Well, which spring veggie is the king of vegetables? Here now with his thoughts and a delicious recipe to share this afternoon, it's our guest chef, Adam Wisnewski. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, I know a lot of people are anxious for spring's arrival.
Any day now.
Yes, and now these vegetables are going to start making their appearance.
That's right.
Which one is king?
Well, they say, you can argue about a lot of ones, but for me, asparagus means spring. It comes with a lot of spring dishes. You'll see it on the sides of lamb and egg dishes and whatever. So I was thinking about spring and wanted to make still a hearty meal, enough for some cool weather.
Okay, and so we are making a vegetarian dish today, yes?
Yeah, it's going to be, chicken stock, but you could use a vegetarian stock, absolutely.
There you go. What are we making?
We're going to make a creamy asparagus soup. And the reason I wanted to do this one in particular is because the creamy soups can get a little complicated. Some people want you to make a roux. Some people have a very specific order of how to do things. And I just want to show you can throw these things in a pot, blend it up, and you've got dinner.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be complicated.
Exactly. So we're
obviously the star,
right.
Asparagus.
So there is a trick to plucking asparagus. The woodsy end, you want to get rid of that. So if you just grab it about halfway down and bend it, the universe will tell you exactly where it wants to break off.
Okay, that looks like a lot of broken
That's why asparagus is so expensive, is because you could spend your time trying to figure out, peel that. And so it's time versus money, right?
Okay, so I'll just try to find the sweet spot here.
Yeah, there you go. And that's it.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to break up the rest of this. We've got a half onion chopped and ready to go.
Okay.
And then that's going to go into a bath of oil and butter. And if you can see in there, you can see there's quite a bit of oil and butter. That's going to make the base for essentially we're going to make a very simple roux to thicken the soup.
Okay.
So that's going to cook for 4 or 5 minutes. There it is, cooked, right? And so what you want to do is you want to get a little bit of that browning on the asparagus and the onions.
I feel like asparagus takes so long to cook because it is like so hearty, like woody. Right. It does take a little bit longer than other veggies.
And the tips are very delicate, so you'll see some people will trim off, just serve the top 3 or 4 inches of the asparagus, even more wasteful. But that is because the tips are very delicate, and the farther you go down, the woodsier it gets.
Okay.
So I'm going to cook a little bit of garlic in there, in the oil and the butter. Get that fragrant. Give that a minute or so, 30 seconds even is sufficient. And then we're going to take that stock, whether it's vegetable, or in this case chicken. And I'm sorry, I almost forgot. To make the roux, what we're going to do is we're going to very simply just on that bath of oil and butter, I'm going to exactly measure 2 tablespoons
that looks very exact.
Oh, it's precise. I'm a precise human being. There's nothing. So I'm going to stir that in and cook it off for 3 or 4 minutes, and that's going to allow the floury taste to dissipate. It's not going to be quite so bitter. It's going to get a little brown on there for some extra flavor, and it's going to cook that butter and the fat and the flour together to make a thickening agent that will make the thickening creamy soup. Say that 3 times.
Yes,
fast.
okay.
All right.
I'm also seeing balsamic vinegar on our list of ingredients.
Yes.
So when does that come in?
So what I would do is I would let that cook 3 or 4 more minutes. Boom, magic of TV, there we go. And then I'm going to pour in all the rest of the ingredients. So here's my 3 cups of stock. Right, and this is where it really speeds things up because I don't have to make a roux. I don't have to fuss over that. I'm going to let time and a little stirring do the work over the next 20 minutes or so.
Okay.
So there's my stock, and then I'm just going to go down the list here, and I'm going to put in precisely 1 teaspoon of balsamic vinegar.
Yep, that looks exact to me.
Yep, you want to grind in 20 grinds of pepper.
Are you being serious?
Yes,
20?
20, absolutely. And then a tablespoon of lemon juice. There's a little salt already in there from the stock, but we're going to put a little bit more in just for flavor. And then it's going to cook for 20 minutes. It's going to simmer. You can walk away and not do anything at all. Just stir it 2 or 3 times during the 20 minutes. You want to make sure that flour isn't gathering as a crust on the bottom of the pan. But there it is.
Burn.
There it is.
So we're going to let this kind of work its magic because then we get to get the fun tools out.
Right.
To do a little immersion blending.
So do you have one?
I do and love it.
Well, because if you don't have one, you want to bring that over.
Well, we're out of time. We're going to save it.
Very good.
So
let's do that next.
Save the toys for later, but we do appreciate you being here.
Absolutely.
And if you want to have a copy of Adam's recipe for our creamy asparagus soup, we'll have that at ciLiving.tv. But stick around because coming up, we're going to have the big reveal.